Birds of Prey number 22, written by Christy Marks, art by Romano Molinar, Robson Roca, and Scott McDaniel. So last issue was like a semi-crossover with Talon, and in the Talon issue, we had Strix tell Calvin Rose, aka Talon, here, like, I lost my suit and such during our battle, but you're totally cool to go, and we're all square and even. Go fight the good fight. So this issue picks up with Black Canary, Condor, and Batgirl all still looking for Strix, and it's like, oh, I think I hear some movement on the middle floors. Everyone converge, and they all start running into the same room together. Batgirl traces down some blood patterns, which leads them back down into the lab, which is where Strix is just hanging out. She's literally just sitting there. And it's like, oh, Strix, you're great. Like, where's the other guy? And they also recognize that she's wearing a new outfit. And they question where the dead girl's body went. And Strix just puts her finger to her lips and says, shush. And it's like, okay, well, I guess we'll get all those answers eventually. For right now, burn this mother to the ground. We're not letting the Court of Owls keep anything here. So they light up some incendiary stuff and just destroy the whole building. And Condor's like, all right, well, let's go back home, I guess. And Black Canary's like, no, don't you remember, like 3 issues ago, Starling betrayed us. She knows all of my secret places. I trusted her implicitly. I can't go anywhere that I would go before. We have to find somewhere new. And Batgirl's like, I mean, I would, but I've got my own stuff going on. And Black Canary's like, fair enough, not going to ask you to do that. And then Condor steps up and says, I have a place. It's kind of just like my staging area, but we can go there. And so Condor flies Black Canary there, whereas Batgirl and Strix take a bike. And as they arrive, Batgirl gets a call. And she's like, what? Huh? I have my own book? Crap. And so she hangs up the phone. Black Canary's like, what's all that about? And she's like, I've got stuff I need to take care of. Don't ask me about it. You can't help me. I'm going to go back to my own book now. And so she drives off in a huff. Then we meet up with the leader of Basilisk, aka Regulus, who we have seen in several other books. But now he's here, and he's like, ah, good. My Operation Kaizen begins now. And Little Lackey's like, what does that mean? It's like, it means like rebirth and improvement. And like, come on, get with the program. So we see her name is Cyclone, which she seems familiar, but I can't place her. And her teammates Hammerdown and Whipcrack, as well as some new girl who's just like a normal-ass millennial named Uplink. And she's like, I'm kind of more into IT. I really shouldn't be a part of this mission. They're like, shut up, you're coming with. And Basilisk is like, okay, you need to go get our former teammate Condor and bring him back. Also, he's with Black Canary. I would also like her as well. And it's like, why do you want Black Canary? It's like, because I was in the Team 7 book. So we have a history. So, yep. So anyway, days pass, and they're all like, man, is Batgirl good? She hasn't reported back in for a couple days. And Black Canary's like, I don't know. Strix has just been hanging up in the rafters, not saying a word. Like, this whole team's falling apart. And they go full soap opera, and Condor's like, maybe the team might be falling apart, but I'll always be here with you. And they make out again, and Black Canary's like, no, we can't do that. I don't know what I need right now, but I'm not ready. And Condor's like, fair enough, I'll be patient. I'll wait for you, baby. So at that point, Condor's like, by the way, this place, my staging area, doesn't have food, so I'm going to go and pick up some groceries, and I'll be back soon. So he flies off, goes to get some stuff. We see an old woman is asking for bus fare, and Condor's like, I'll do you better than that. And he flags down a taxi, puts her in the cab, hands the cab driver everything that would cover like the entire fare, and walks away. And she's like, oh wow, he really passed the test. He passed the test with flying colors. But we don't get the answer to that yet. So then we see Black Canary telling Strix like, hey, you want to come down and talk? You want to maybe be buddies? And Strix jumps down and opens up the garage. Batgirl comes flying in on her bike, and she's like, oh, Batgirl, what's going on? And Batgirl's like, I have been through so much in my own book. See issues like 15 to 20. It's been a lot. I'm so upset. But have you, I didn't have a choice. I had to kill him because Batgirl killed her brother, quote unquote. as far as she knows. And she's very upset about that. And Black Canary's like, oh, I'm sure you did what you had to do. So anyway, Condor's flying back home with some food. And he starts getting attacked by some cyclones. And it turns out it's Cyclone and Hammerdown and whatever else their names were. And they all start attacking, and Condor's like, oh, the whole team's here again. I left you guys because you were terrorists or whatever. I'm not going to join you again. And Cyclone's like, but we were lovers once. You won't have a choice. So Hammerdown and Whipcrap show up at Condor's workshop, where, of course, all the rest of the Birds of Prey are hanging out. Whipcrack uses electric tasers and attacks Strix. Hammerdown tries to attack Black Canary, but the two of Black Canary and Batgirl fight him off. And then Condor comes in with Cyclone in hand. It's just like, leave him alone. And Black Canary asks who they are. And he says, yeah, you remember I was on a team before. This is them, but they're terrorists. And once I realized they were terrorists, I left. And Black Canary's like, oh, you were a terrorist? And he's like, no, that's not at all what I said. And she's like, I can't believe it. I will never trust anyone ever again. And so at that point, it looks like they're all about to start attacking. Black Canary's like, screw this. Everyone clear. I'm using my canary cry. And as she's about to do it, the IT girl comes in, and I guess she's able to use like some form of telepathy, and she knocks them all out. And they're all completely unconscious on the ground, and it's like, all right, let's get them transported out of here. And that's the issue. I gotta say, I don't like Black Canary. I just this version, it's not so much the way that like Christy Marx is writing her, but it's just so, like, who cares? Like, just think for like a quarter second, because it's just, she immediately is like, I can't believe it, betrayed again, like Starling did to me. And I understand she has serious trust issues, but the fact that this guy straight up said, I was on a previous team and I left because I didn't like the way they did things, and then they show up and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're on a team that did bad things. It's like, no shit, Canary. It's just, I don't know. It just bothered me. I do also like the fact that Christy Marx decided to take the time to explain, like, by the way, everything that happened in Batgirl happened between, like, these 3 pages. She went off for a few days, we let her do her thing, and now she's back. It's a little bit of world building that wasn't necessary, because, like, nobody ever questions how Batman's life fits into things, but I do like that they took the time for Batgirl here. Overall, I mean, it's an okay issue. I'm really sick of Regulus. I was sick of Regulus like the 4th time he showed up, let alone now. So I'm going to go ahead and say, all things considered, this one is probably it's probably like a 6. And most of that is just my sheer gut reaction to, I don't want to deal with Basilisk anymore. I don't think they're good villains. I'm honestly just pissed off with them most of the time. And the fact that they're here again, just like, ugh, who cares? So 6 for this. Please stop.